segment, salty run back, and now we are potentially getting a salty run back.
Literally running it back, yeah.
As they get the thumbs up from Shadow, locking in the Sin's out.
Yeah, I mean, it was the Jhin and the Leona here last time. Potential to go and see it again. I'm like, I like the Jhin into a lot of these like big push picks, like the Jinx and the Caitlyn, because you can kind of answer for a lot of their strengths. But it does feel like, just as a straight up pick, I think there's a lot of AD carries that can do more, but we'll have to see what the plan is here. Is FPX, they will pick up the Lee Sin, potential to go towards the Jhin again if they want to, but they're actually just going to take Hung's Leona over an AD carry pick.
And I personally really like it. We've talked about it already for Hung. You need those tools to be the engager, to kind of follow through with your shot calling instincts, it seems. And this combo proved to do that beautifully in game number 1. So I don't mind them picking this up for game number 2. And it leaves them a little bit of flexibility in the bot side, not picking up the Jhin just yet, but waiting for what the choice will be from LGD. And they just lock in the Ezreal once again.
And Hung had a massive performance on a lot of these big engages and team fights as well. Whatever about some of the
literally running it back, Dagda.
Yeah, we are 100% bringing it back. But I think this Leona definitely Hung, if you're going to rely on him to be your engage tool, and it's been something that's been lacking from the FPX compositions against RNG, I think it's a good pick and can set them up nicely. And here we go, Corki going to be locked in for Gori. We saw it come through in the second rotation in that 4th slot, but I wonder now if we end up with the Jhin bans or what the plan is going to be. But thus far, I mean, both comps are looking fairly similar, unless we actually start to see some of the bans going towards those champions.
I would like to see the Kaisa. I know it's probably a little out there, but I feel like the Kaisa and Ezreal is a very fun matchup for both sides, but especially for the Kaisa, I think it'd be really interesting. So we'll see, but right now the bans are sticking the same as game number 1. Syndra was the first ban in the second phase by FPX. Vayne this time, the ban by LGD, so changing up just a tiny bit.
Yeah, kind of going, hey, look, we don't want anything that has late game scaling, that gets a free lane against this Ezreal Braum. Vayne, great pick into them. I could definitely see the Kaisa. The only thing is the AP build, a lot of that damage can be blocked by the Braum, right? He gets that shield up. You're not getting those stacks onto any of the key targets. Although it would be nice if you want to go towards like this kind of full poke style that FPX could potentially go towards, especially since LGD are lacking big engage tools. But it is going to be FPX banning away the Syndra and Fearness as a Kali. Everyone kind of figuring that one after the 9-kill game that he had in his previous series. And LGD, the question is, what's the last one? So it is going to be the Jack. So we won't full run it back, but we're getting fairly close to it.
We are getting close, and this would be a pick that would just make me happy. Just seeing what that hyper carry is going to look like in the bot side of the map for FPX, and really finding something that complements the Corki as well, like we saw last game. And I still think that the way we're setting ourselves up in the second phase with a lot of focus towards top side, this Kaisa just fits in nicely.
I am curious to see the build though, because a lot of what we're seeing in the in solo queue is going to be like the Man of Moon Ace, Rated Dirk, Luden's Echo, or Crown of the Shattered Queen. But I feel like if you're going to go that style, you end up with a lot of AP damage on your squad. So you're going to be hoping that nobody builds like something like a Force of Nature or something on LGD side. So I'm curious to see what the game plan is here. Gwen, over for the moment by LGD, is going to be locked in.
It was banned last game, so picking that one.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how FPX round out this composition, because you're kind of thinking like what actually is able to fight toe-to-toe against the Gwen. Like Camille doesn't have a great matchup against her and doesn't really have the straight up like, hey, I just SKL you, and there we go. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Dagda. It's been so long, man. I'm so excited to get to cast back. She is so fun to get to watch in League of Legends, and I have not gotten to cast just yet. Well, I guess it's my first cast of the LPL season, so that would be a reason why. But I'm so unbelievably excited to watch Yaji pick up this Vex. Now, this would be a great response in its own right. Was banned away by LGD last time around, and it is the Jayce for xiaolaohu.
All right, we're going full poke for FPX. I mean, the Kaisa, the Corki, the Jayce, going to be able to do a lot when you're trying to play at range. But honestly, the LGD have a great answer for it, right? You've got like the Ezreal who can kind of poke back. You've got Gwen who's immune, JinJiao who's immune, the The Vex is just going to be able to jump in on top of you, even as the personal space shield if she really wants to. So honestly, I think LGD have a lot of tools to deal with it. The only thing is finding that big engage, right? You need something that's going to close the distance.
Here we go. Please, please, please get us to a game 3 LGD as LGD versus FPX. Game number 2 starts now.
Both sides just looking to see if they can spot out some funny business. You can see the ward in the top brush. Thank you very much, observers, as they actually didn't place a ward from FPX, kind of pretending to place a ward and then moving back. So it looks like FPX trying to see if they can spot out any invades, but LGD have already gone back towards their own jungle.
The mind game's playing on here. I like it. Lethal tempo Gwen in the top side. All right, I can appreciate it. We also were seeing the lethal tempo Ezreal last game, but it's making its way again into game number 2. So lethal tempo definitely picking up in priority here.
Yeah, we used to kind of see a bit of back and forth between Conqueror and Lethal Tempo, right? Yep. It was kind of like how comfortable you were on the different playstyles. If it was like, hey, look, I'm not going to be able to sling a bunch of auto attacks in the midst of my Mystic shots, well, I'll just stick to what I can. But definitely with Lethal Tempo being as strong as it is, it's just, it's so difficult not to take that route.
Fearness coming in the lane on the other side of the matchup here. xiaolaohu and Fearness exchanging a couple blows just like they did in game number 1.
Yeah, the ward in the bush though, making sure that you at least take a little bit of extra auto attacks from the minions there on Fearness. So actually not coming out the best for wear on that trade, and you can even see the biscuits picked up by xiaolaohu, who he's well aware that he just wants to try and stay in this lane as long as possible. Fearness can do reasonably well in this lane when he gets to level 3, just trying to play on the edge of his W range and trying to find that poke. So xiaolaohu can trade back, but it is a relatively difficult matchup for Fearness pre that level 3.
So early trades on the bot side, both supports taking a lot of health damage at least, but the thing that's standing out to me is these quick paths coming through from both jungler. At least I thought they were going to be quick as they skipped over a couple camps a piece. Looks like we're just going to get a lot of the same story we had last game though, where it is that calm, steady start for both these junglers and cresting into that chaotic mid game.
Good trade from xiaolaohu there though. And this is what I was talking about, right? Like Fearness tries to shove in the way, but he's going to take a ton of damage in these early stages, and xiaolaohu being able to play up aggressive in this lane means that he's in a really good spot now. Now Fearness kind of stuck. Like, he's got to play up to try and push in this wave, or else you end up with just a nice freeze coming through on that top end.
This is an early dive for FPX. It's against the Braum as well. Braum is so tricky to get, but Eric goes down anyways. The tower will get hung, and it's turned back around. Lwx taking a ton of damage as well. Nobody here to help dissuade anymore, but now the dive's the top side for LGD, and Shadow, he might just die. No, he doesn't. xiaolaohu goes down. Fearness taking tower shots goes down as well. It is trades across the board, Dagda.
Yeah, both sides try to get any sort of advantage that they can, but 1 for 1, gold is all still even. You get the TP back from xiaolaohu, so he'll be able to hold on to that reasonably well. So all said and done, even Steven.
Get a replay of that early chaos, the double dives from each team executed. But again, as I was saying, it's hard against the Braum to get away unscathed.
Yeah, they end up losing one. The wave does die, so Ezreal will be slightly behind in that lane. xiaolaohu, though, manages to get a good amount of damage on towards Shadow, so he has to flash away. And this is what we're talking about, right? Fearness takes that early damage, so he's not able to stay, but will be the kill back for xiaolaohu. So you can see the gold lead even in the top side, but it's that bot lane where that 300 gold is there for Lwx.
Yeah, G not having the health bar to really stick around. Has started backing, but can't do so because Gori is pushing in this lane. Now Shadow is right here to make something happen, just to push them off of this. So yeah, G can get some of this farm going, and eventually will be evened out because of the help of LGD's jungle.
So we're now looking to go right. FPX doing a good job to get Lwx ahead, right? We were saying, look, this is a composition that in a lot of situations is going to be playing through poke styles. So the fact you're getting Lwx into a position where you can play off the Manamune and the early Ludens are going to do wonderful. Even this rated Dirk coming through fairly soon, I'd imagine. But it is going to be difficult now for LGD. We said they wanted to try and get Fearness ahead, but that dive not really going their direction. Now it's setting up for xiaolaohu to actually have a decent amount of push and play around in this lane at the top side. You still got to be careful of Beichuan showing up, so Fearness only now resetting, coming back into lane. We'll have to see if Shadow can try and continue to put the pressure there for Fearness.
And I do wonder if we continue to see that early dragon focus from FPX, where they're trying to set themselves up for the later game here. It is Ocean Dragon to start us off, but Shadow is the one that's down towards this side. Invades have been the name of the game so far for both these teams, and it's honestly crazy that last game both junglers stayed at such similar CS because they were constantly invading, and now we get a gank towards bot side, but Shadow cannot pull it off. Maybe the wind becomes lightning, gets the kill. There you go. And LGD are able to take a 1-kill lead.
Nice job from Shadow. Just kind of takes the quick skedaddle across the Lwx to get in range for the wind becomes lightning, so they are able to pick that one up. But I was actually curious to see, because Shadow tried to use his wing becomes lightning onto the Braum. Missed it, and I think that gave false information that Beichuan isn't on this bot lane. Now, they're not going to be able to do too much, but I'd be curious to see how the lanes react. They might think that Beichuan is back up on this top side when he's actually bot lane right now.
So FPX opting into that early dragon, as they will start up the Ocean Dragon. Shadow is right around the corner though, and some pings actually coming out. Mid lane pretty even, a little bit in favor of Gori though. A little bit difficult to get some help down towards this pit, and it will just be first dragon secured by FPX.
Yeah, I mean, they'll know where Beichuan is as soon as this roar comes out. But yeah, FPX still keeping the dragon control there, still wanted to make sure that this is something that they're working towards and kind of using this to force LGD into fights, and especially when they're getting control over this bot lane so well. We said that FPX, like, they're the squad that wants to post up on these objectives early, right? Get vision control, make sure that they're able to poke with the composition, make sure that there's no real way for LGD to find flanks in on top of them and close the gap. So for FPX, this game plan is working out wonderfully for them right now. I just want to see, with Rift House body in 30 seconds, how they want to try and play this. Because for me, that feels like the best way for FPX to solidify this lead. Like, reset with Lwx and Hong, play over towards this objective, and try and crack down this bot lane turret as soon as possible.
It's kind of funny to me. It feels as if Beichuan is just perfectly fine in the situation that he's in. He just dinged 6. He's just farming away, trying to get the full speed clear going for the Lee Sin jungle. But the bottom lane, the mid lane, they're doing just fine. They've got CS leads. They have been being stable, at least in these lanes, and it enables Beichuan to really play the way he wants to. Yes, Shadow has gotten a little bit more involved with Beichuan. Lee Sin is something very difficult to navigate against as the game goes on.
Well,
G might have to do just that. Oh no! He gets the connection there. The first rocket misses, but Beichuan makes sure the kick doesn't. He gets the kill.
And nicely done. And now you've got to back away from this as LGD. xiaolaohu in the area. Gori should be able to move across, but has no mana. So maybe LGD actually managed to finish this.
They're moving in here.
Here's FPX.
The smite does come through. Shadow secures the Rift Herald Eye, but he's in the middle of the pit, and he's in some trouble as well. Crescent Guard comes away, but Hong is just dead. Now it's back to a 3v3 and potentially a 4v3 in favor of LGD as xiaolaohu is engaged on by Fearness, taking a ton of damage. Beichuan trying to make this happen. Gori here with the package as well. Can they make it happen though? The knockback does help Fearness out. Gori won't find the kill.
Gori went for the reset there. Didn't have time though because Eric had managed to just clip him with that true shot barrage. So it means that the delay on the reset, Gori can't get back in time, and it's actually LGD picking up both that Rift Herald and also some of the
Gori.
JinJiao.
Oh no, Gori. Okay, he realizes something's going on as he sees abilities being thrown out of the darkness and will not die to it.
So a win there for LGD, especially as we were saying, look, it would be great for FPX to try and be able to take this Rift Herald and plunk it down and bot open up this game, but look, that's where Gori's resetting, right? He has no mana right now, so does need to reset, but got delayed. And despite that, FPX still try to commit. Hong's in the pit way before anyone else can follow up on him, and it sets up for LGD. Now xiaolaohu, you're gonna have to flash this.
Yeah, he is. Shadow gets the engage here. xiaolaohu, nice knockback. Doesn't even have to flash. He's playing confident. I like it.
Yeah, just able to knock back the JinJiao before Fearness could get in. So nicely done. And now FPX. I like this proactivity, right? Get in to the bot side, try and answer for the cross map, but get vision down for this dragon in 2 minutes, because we've already seen that this is their game plan. And try and set up for these dragons. Try and make sure that they're able to collect all that they can. So getting control is going to help them out significantly against LGD.
Absolutely is, and the setup is key. Feeling a lot like last game, where it's a little slow, steady build up to the mid game, to the late game. Then it's going to explode as Fearness almost explodes himself. Don't tell me he's going to try to find it. Okay.
He's going to.
I thought maybe I thought he had flash, right? And I was like, maybe he's going to try for some crazy plays. Decides not to. We'll just take the tower instead.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nice for xiaolaohu, right? 3 plates now picked up for himself. That should give him the eclipse on this recall, and especially as we said, like dragon in 50 seconds. Perfect timing. And Fearness, he's walking back to lane. He doesn't have his TP right now. Whereas xiaolaohu, never mind.
Yep, he doesn't have it either.
So who cares?
Ooh, Glacial Fissure onto Lwx does not connect. The concussive blows, though. Rooftop Barrage goes wide as well.
I mean, nice job from Shadow to see
Gori.
if he could... if he could try and make plays happen bot side, like get that control for Dragon, but unfortunately not going to be able to do so. Still wandering in here, still has that Rift Tower to play, so could be looking to use that to draw attention from FPX.
This is such a stellar point, though, for Shadow LGD to find this guy. Look at this gameplay right now. He just gets obliterated. He was playing so calm in that moment. He's like, oh, I know they're right here, but it's fine. I can see them. They can see me. It's all good. And then he just dies outright.
He thought he was free. He thought he wasn't a vision. He was standing on the pink. He's like, there's no way they know I'm here. I am Solid Snake. And then it's like, no, sorry, bud. They've got that sweeper. You're gone. And it's just done and dusted. So FPX pick up their second dragon now off the back of that. And it's still, I mean, bit of a slower pace to this game, but it's still coming out with FPX coming away with the early gold lead. Some of that is obviously first strike, but a lot of that is because of the gold lead that we're seeing in mid, in bot side. And it looks like it could come across pretty well for them as we start to progress with second dragon now secured.
And with these double marksman compositions, it just seems like an inevitability that we're going to get to a point where they are just too strong to handle, that they just cannot be killed. And that's where I'm hoping this Vex starts to come alive. Eric starts to have that damage profile he was having last time without those 3 kills given to him early. And if we can get Fearness to have a actual say on this Gwen and those team fights, now we get the Rift Herald spawn and taken down in bot side, couple turret plates over to LGD.
I'm curious to see what the build is.
Beichuan? He has his whole team here. Like, he's like, guys, you're right here. I know you're here. You can help me. But luckily, they get out away with that blast cone, and xiaolaohu continuing to chokehold Fearness.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to get this tower for himself. This is really good from xiaolaohu. And like I said, like, this matchup can work for Fearness if he's able to play on the edge of his W, but it's really difficult to do when xiaolaohu is just being able to punish you, push you in, and there's just no attention from LGD topside.
Didn't have to burn the flash, try to get a little bit of damage onto Fearness there before he did have to, and does do so. So very nicely done for the top laner of FPX, and having a continued good performance, it feels like, from that Jackson game #1. Get another little moment of lull period as a Rift Herald numero dos is coming up onto the Rift here in Dagda.
I feel like we're just going to end up in a very similar situation where it's just like, look, you can have FPX pushing a little bit, maybe look to group, as actually they are starting to move up. So looks like they will try and contest this, but I imagine for LGD, you're already in this bot lane, just pushing this wave ASAP and see if you can try and get some damage onto this bot lane turret. It really doesn't feel like, with how strong xiaolaohu is in top side and Gori having mid push, you should be able to contest this. Unless Hung, we said he likes to play far forward and sometimes it can come back to burn him. He might get picked, but I'd actually find Fearness.
Not finding the Zenith Blade right there just yet. But another, I know we were talking about the double marksman comp, but when you see double marksman comp with Manamune in their inventory, like, it's double the uh-ohs. It just feels like scaling on top of scaling. We'll see what happens as Hung goes in for the engage all by himself, trying to tank up a storm, but just dies. and now it's a 4v5. The resets are there. The Shadow Surge is coming alive here. Shadow trying to find his own kill. JinJiao dies next, though, and Gori is still popping rockets, and they are going to the moon right now, Dagda. Shadow, again, the saving grace for his team, left out in the dust, and FPX find a fight.
And that's what we're saying. FPX, they seem so strong right now. I really didn't want to see LGD fight that. I think you just cross map. I think you just trade for botlane turret. But instead, they give their lives for the FPX cause. And now you've got push in mid, tower gone top. It's so much gold that just got injected into FPX.
It really is. 5,000 gold in the lead, just about getting another charge off on the top side as well. That inhib tower is looking worse for where they lose, or LGD loses their outer mid tower, and everything is just crumbling around them.
I mean, Hong needs to take a chill pill. Some of these just are a little bit too hard, all right? Nobody there from FPX, right? They're finishing off the Rift Town, but you can see here, right? Even Lwx, you've got everything tossed at him to try and see if you can finish it off. Couldn't get over the wall, but it's Gori's package. It's the damage that this Corki's churning out right now that's able to seal the deal alongside both xiaolaohu and Beichuan just being monstrous right now.
And the fact that he was able to pin them up against the wall with that pack, like, look at that damage. It's insane. This, like, take the Corki away from the LPL mid laners. They're just too good. They're just too good.
I mean, I just think Corki's too good. I think he's OP as all hell. Whatever about the LPL mid laners. This champion is just bonkers. But here we are once more, 30 seconds until Dragon. This time, LGD have control of the river, though, and this should make it a lot easier for them to try and bait FPX in. But honestly, I think for FPX, you just trade. Never mind.
There you go. Beichuan with the kickback, and Eric is dead. He had no cleanse, no flash, and that means it's an uneven fight. FPX will be able to survive a little bit longer. Fearness does a beautiful job, but there's the Shadow Surge. The reconnects there. Gori is still untouched. You can't not do that. You just can't, Dagda.
That's just disgusting. Like, FPX wiped the floor with LGD. Beichuan goes down. It's a 1-for-5 trade. Third Dragon going to FPX. And I mean, it's gonna be what, the 4th tower now for FPX as well. Like, this is looking kind of done and dusted, LGD. It's not going well for you.
And my goodness, what a turnaround performance from Gori here, especially the last time we saw him go against xiaolaohu. This is a statement performance to have at the beginning of the season, and I love it. Yes, it's on Corki. Yes, he's a bit busted, but it still takes execution to pull off. And FPX just looks like they're firing on all cylinders here. I don't know if they're going to get that. Oh, they do! Oh my god. They're bandits. They're just bandits. JinJiao is out. He has to get teammates to come help him. Like, he literally
it's like, let me jump, let me out, I don't want to be here. But anyway, LGD managed to hop on out. FPX pick it up, even if it was a little bit risky. And now, I mean, it becomes so easy, right? You've got a ton of options here for FPX.
Oh, Shadow Surge misses on the Beichuan. That's a big cooldown utilized. It will be coming up pretty shortly, but that means FPX feel comfortable with taking the fight. Shadow completely CC'd down. He is just obliterated. FPX find another fight, and they're pushing down the mid lane.
I mean, they've only got the one creep, may not be able to do it, but I mean, I don't know what LGD are thinking, right? You've got Fearness, who's trying to clear the top wave, and he's dead.
He's just dead. There's no way. You get caught out like that, you're asking for a ticket to the graveyard. And xiaolaohu books that one.
I mean, this is heartbreaking for LGD fans.
It really is.
You end up game 1, Eric coming off the bat looking really, really good. Gets caught out. Game starts to go in FPX's favor. This time around, every skirmish that you've almost entered into is coming out at FPX just because LGD aren't really considering, hey, can we actually fight this right now? And now FPX, an 8,000 gold lead, 1 dragon away from Seoul, and Baron hasn't even spawned yet, and you nearly have LGD stuck in their base. FPX have the run of the mill, and LGD got nothing.
Double mirror manas already completed, full stacks there. You've got tons of damage coming out of the kitchen right now for FPX. Not to mention the 6-in-1 lethality. Actually, it's 3 total mirror manas across the board. As I don't even get to talk about Shadow because he just dies. No, he doesn't. He actually survives. What a madman. Oh my goodness. And now this is a complete turnaround for LGD. Gotta watch out for those Gori rockets. Those Shadow Surge connects. But look, yeah, G is just dead almost. He has to go golden. TP coming in for LGD. But can Fearness turn this fight? He's going in all by himself. Has the needlework available. Putting down some damage. Oh, no. You got the poke. You came to the wrong house. You came to FPX.
And FPX will just take the game. They've now gotten the fight. They are on towards Baron. They're taking everything. This is just playing with their food. You can see no matter how much LGD throw at FPX, they're still bouncing back. They're picking up the kills. And LGD, there's just nothing there. Like, I'm trying to find anything that could be a potential saving grace, but I mean, you've 1-4 Gwen, you're 0-4 on your Ezreal. Like, even this engage, right? Like, yeah, G tries to get it to xiaolaohu. He's super low, but there's just not enough burst damage. And as you said, Gori, the rocket damage is insane right now.
And then that accelerated shock blast almost clips Eric too there. He still dies anyways. But it's just, there's nothing. Like, the damage potential is there for FPX, and they're literally revving up that snowmobile to just roll over the competition. And it wasn't even Gori in that one. It was xiaolaohu.
And a large portion of these fights are LGD trying to get on top of FPX. It's actually reverse.
He found Shadow. Shadow gets the dash onto the Krugs, but does it matter? No, it doesn't. The Dragon Rage kick back, and they are sealing the deal, knocking in the coffin of LGD. The last tower, the outer side falls and bot, and now it's on to the inhib towers for FPX.
No engage for LGD to close the gap onto FPX, but they have no problem doing the reverse. And now, with inhibitor bot gone, 22 minutes, Baron just started FPX. Backing. They want to make it.
Yeah, there's no way Fearness can get back in time to do anything about this. I think they've just said, this is all she wrote. This is our quick 2-0 victory for FPX, but they've got one more fight to do to get through it. One dies. Gori gets the kill on the fade away. The tower's getting low, but there goes Beichuan. And there goes the resets for Yaji. He finally gets one, but dies immediately after. And yes, you've got health bars, you've got damage, but Gori is coming to town, and he's knocking with the sheriff's badge. Can he survive, though? Oh, Eric? Eric is going to do it? No, they survive for a little bit longer. Gori, is it going to go down? Yes, he does. Fearness gets the shutdown.
1,000 gold shut down over to Fearness. Eric with the triple kill, but it feels like it's too little too late. Even getting all that, it's still a 12,000 gold lead. It's still your Nexus exposed, and there's still Soul in 5 seconds. Now, LGD can deny it, unless xiaolaohu wants to go for some sort of crazy TP, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the real answer.
Yeah, big shout out to our observers showing us that ward there in the precipice of the Nexus, but this is the fight.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it here, right? Huge amount of poke. This is where FPX is strong. Beichuan probably going in a little bit too ham. Gives G the option to get into the back line, even getting the 1,000 gold shutdown of his own, but this was so back and forth, but minions blocking so much of the damage coming through from Gori, whereas Eric and Fearness are just able to whack on through. And just here, you can see Fearness tries to get the damage down, but great W coming through from Fearness to stop it. And, oh, I thought we were just running for the base there.
Yeah, Gori was so upset at those minions. Like, those minions were just giving him a hard time. The dragon during that was secured by LGD, so puts FPX down one dragon in that stacking. But they're losing their inhib now, and the TP is coming in to seal the deal for Gori. They get the engage now a little bit early, but Hung goes in and almost dies. There's the package from Gori, and there's the wipe of the team here for FPX, but the resets are there, and now you've got a 2v2 in the end, but Vex can do it. xiaolaohu! Is it a 1v1? Who's going down? xiaolaohu comes out on top, and FPX take a 2-0 victory.
There's one man left standing, but the Nexus will not stand any longer. FPX take the 2-0.
What a victory. What a continuation of dominance for this FPX roster, Dagda, and 2022 is looking like a good year to be a Phoenix.
I mean, I know a lot